Hi, I'm Carmen, and this is my video on what makes our class special. So the first main thing is that we're a student-led classroom, and the good thing about being student-led is it teaches us to be responsible. It teaches us responsibility because if we don't do something, then we know that it's our fault. It's like if the morning announcements don't get set up, it's our fault, not like, oh, the teacher didn't set it up for us. We have to make sure that we remember to do it all the time. And lunch count, which is like the absent people, and if they're not there, we say that they're not there, and then we send that to the office. But sometimes the office calls us and say that we didn't do it, and then we have to go and do it and take time out of whatever we're doing, which sometimes can be fun. Okay. It also makes us feel like Mr. Sellers trusts us to do things. Being student-led makes it feel like Mr. Sellers trusts us enough to have our own freedom, that we get to pick what we're doing when we transition and all this other stuff that can really determine how your day goes. So yeah, it makes us feel trusted by Mr. Sellers to be a student-led classroom. Mr. Sellers also, a lot of times Mr. Sellers a lot of times does things that aren't in the curriculum or aren't a set plan. And sometimes he has to fight other people to let us do these things, which can be harder for him. It's more work for him to have to do that instead of just sitting here just doing the exact same thing, handing us a worksheet and just saying, okay, do this. And so it's a lot harder for him to have to go and actually set up all these lessons and stuff. So a lot of times in science, I feel like we're about to do a really boring lesson, about how the seasons change and why they change. But then actually once he gets talking about some of the fun facts about it, it's really interesting, because if we're watching one of our videos in science about why the seasons or how the seasons change, that can give Mr. Sellers, then Mr. Sellers would go off on a side note, and everybody's just thinking okay, let's get back to lessons, we can get this over with. But it's actually really interesting what he says. So every morning after video announcements, we watch Rusty May, which is somebody who, it's just a 1-minute video after video announcements that teaches us skills and stuff. And Mr. Sellers had to also fight for that to get it for free, so he wouldn't have to pay a ton of money to watch it. And Rusty May helps us because it just gives us something to focus on for that day. So if Rusty May is teaching us about how if somebody's teasing you, or bullying you, then you don't give them the attention, because that's what they want. That's why they bully people, to get the attention. And so then it'll focus on if somebody's bullying us that day or somebody else, and you can stand up for them and just not give them the attention that they want. Also, along with being a student-led classroom, being student-led teaches us to be strong leaders, because we have to remind others in our classroom to do certain things, for instance, the lunch count, or remind everybody that we have 2 minutes until we have to be to gym, for instance. And so that will help us be leaders and speak up, because some people in our class are quiet and they don't like saying give me five, give me five. Yeah, that's also another thing I'll talk about later. They don't feel comfortable saying give me five. A lot of people in our class don't feel comfortable saying give me five, or at least at the beginning of the year they didn't feel comfortable doing that, because you don't really know all of the kids in your class. And now that we do, some people still don't do them, but he really encourages us to do give me fives and lead, and so it helps others try and step up. So at least everybody in the classroom, I think, has done at least 4 give me fives, which at the beginning of the year I don't think they ever would have imagined doing. So another a way that we learn to be kind to others is Second Step. Second Step is like a series of videos. Once again, he had to fight for it to get it for free. Second Step is a series of videos and things that show or teach us life skills, and I think it helps us be kinder people because they give us little, like, I don't know what to call them, like phrases to remember them. So it's like step, there was this one, that's one of them, and it was like, for how to solve a problem. So you have to like stop and calm down. Then you have to, it was say the problem out loud. And then you have to think up a plan. And then E is explore consequences. Like explore what would happen if you did each of those plans. And then P is pick the best solution. So that would help us because then it's like pretty easy to remember. I just had my brain went blank there. And it's pretty easy to remember. There's also stop. You have to like stop, calm down, say like, hold on, we are very angry and frustrated. And so it helps us think about that. It's like a quick little thing that we can remember what to do and not have like 73 lessons about it. It's just one video, but it helps us, or like 7 videos or whatever, but they're not very long. So it helps us to remember what to do in one of those situations. Okay, also another thing that helps us be kinder people. That helps us be kinder people because if we're in an argument with somebody, it helps us calm down and be kind to one another. Another thing that helps us be kinder people is Kinderpals. And that helps us be kinder people because in Kinderpals, you have to learn how to be patient with your kinder buddies because they are kindergartners and we have to teach them like complex words like our first one was empathy. I didn't learn that until like 3rd grade, but now we are teaching the kindergartners what that word means and like courage and honesty and all these hard words. So you have to be patient with them because it'd be hard for a kindergartner to understand what those are. And it also helps us learn how to teach younger children, which is the best kind of like learning. Like for my math test, I studied, and the best way that I did that was I taught my mom how to find the interquartile range of a data set, or to how to find true outliers using the IQR. And so it really helped me on my test because I just thought about how would you explain this to somebody else and so it helps you understand it more if you're teaching it. So that helped us learn more about each of the words that we did, like honesty, courage, and empathy. There are more, I just can't think of them. Another thing that Mr. Sawyers taught us in a couple of mini lessons are thinking about what you say before you say it. Like in my old school, we had this little thing, I can't exactly remember what it is because it was like 3 years ago, but it was like, think about like, is it important, is it necessary, is it kind? And he taught us like, I guess we kind of already knew this, but now we know it more. It's more in our brains. He taught us that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. I'm pretty sure like all of us knew that, but now we really think about it because he says it a lot. That's one of the skills. And I have evidence that I learned that skill. Thinking about what you say before you say it is because I was gonna say like something like, what was I gonna say? Right, I was gonna say like something like some random thing something that was really obvious, and then I was like, do I really have to say that? Do I have to like interrupt this video to say some random comment around about some obvious thing that everybody is already knows, obviously, because it's like in the video they said something like they are being kind to one another. And then I wanted to do like a game 5 and say like, I'm going to write down that they're being kind to one another, because we were having to write down all the lessons and in the video, and it wouldn't make sense for me to just say that out loud if they already got it, but I thought about how I said, like, think about if it's necessary. 12 bullet point. Always checking, another skill that I learned is always checking to make sure that others are doing the right thing or understanding the thing. My example of checking to make sure others are doing the right thing is Mystery Skype, because all of my example for always checking to make sure others are doing the right thing was during Mystery Skype, because when I was going around as a task master / helper, you would go and see if everybody was on task and looking up the right thing and not looking up some random thing, because we have those freedoms with the computer. And like, I saw one of the kids, I'm not going to name names. Another thing Mr. Sawyer taught us is not to name names, which helps the person not feel really bad about what they did, because maybe it was just an accident. And one of the kids was like looking up something for their Passion Time project, which didn't really make sense because that's not what we were doing. And so like, I told him to get back on topic, and he did, so then it was all good in the end. And then my example for always checking to make sure others are understanding things is in math, because he always says, like, make sure that you bring others with you. Like, if you really understand a topic for math or something, that you bring others along by teaching them the same things. Because if you're going ahead, you don't want everybody else to not get it and you be like way over here. You want to take them, bring them with you, so then everybody else gets it too. And like, one of my partners, again, not going to name names, didn't really get how to find like, she didn't get a question on like how to find the median for one of the questions, because there was like 73 different numbers and stuff, and she got how to, it's just worded really weirdly, so she didn't understand that she had to find the median. And so I like read through it again and like showed her all the different words and the problem that points to the fact that you have to find the median. And Cardboard Challenge is one of the special activities or occasions that we have, and it helps our creativity because we have to make a game out of just cardboard boxes, plastic nail things, and like little things that make the things turn. So my friend Brenna and I, that's Brenna over there. Brenna, say hi. Okay, and so we made a game for Cardboard Challenge, and we made this game called Find the Cheese. We put like a little spot at the end, and you had to pick up the box, and it was really like, it was made up of cardboard, and we made like a little maze thing out of cardboard. It's really hard. Oh, and duct tape was another tool we used. And whoever was playing it picked it up and had to like roll the ball to the end, and if they got it to the end in under like 3 seconds or whatever it was, they got a sticker thing that we had. They got a sticker from the little sticker pad that we had. And that was really cool because it helped our creativity to get flowing, because it made us think outside the box.
What was your job?
I was a geologist.
So, Carmen would have to have things that
Okay. So my next special event was Hold on. Okay, some classes are coming in from recess. The next special day that we had was a breakout room. So we had like these teams, and we had to unlock all of these locks with like the clues that he hid around the classroom, and it helped our teamwork because we all had to like divide and conquer. Yeah, that's what it is. Divide and conquer to solve all the things in the allotted time, and it was hard. If you were just doing it by yourself, you couldn't really get anything done, because a lot of times you would think that one answer was right, and then if somebody else in your group explained it to you their way, then you would see it their way, and then you would get it right because you saw it their way. So that helped our teamwork.
Oh, I almost locked this out.
And Inventor's Challenge was another day that we had, and it helped us learn the process of making a product. And that could be helpful because maybe you wanted to solve a problem and you all of a sudden just draw it on a piece of paper, and now you don't know what to do with it because you never learned how to make a product. And so we learned that you have to draw it out, make a model, make adjustments to the model to make it work, so like a prototype, test it, and then send it to whoever would manufacture this item. Another day that we had was Global School Play Day, and
Thank you.
Global School Play Day, and another day that was a special occasion was Global School Play Day, and that was where we didn't look at the instructions for a game, and we made our own rules to it. And that really helped our creative thinking because we had to make up weird rules with whatever we had in the box, like all the supplies that we had. And it was really hard for some of them because you didn't know like what the heck you were doing with any of them. Like one of them, there was like a piece of paper with like 6 different boxes, a little caption thingy. Again, Brenna was my partner for that. And we made that game where we had to put a caption in the little boxes, and then we had to draw a picture and continue the story through all the boxes, and until it made a story with pictures and stuff. And it was actually really fun in the end. And we looked at and we each got like our own slip of paper thing with all those boxes in it. And then when we actually read the rules, it was like you had to add on to each part of the story, and you wouldn't know what the last person drew. So we actually thought our game version was more fun because it was kind of more free. Another thing that I think makes our classroom special is jobs, and that helps teach us responsibility because I think jobs help us teach responsibility throughout the classroom because they make sure that you are always paying attention for whatever your job is. So my job was lunch crate, for example. This actually is my job, though. And I had to make sure that the lunch crate got taken down every day. And like 1 or 2 days, the person that brought it down didn't bring it back up. So I was looking for it because I was going back up to homework club. Talk about that later. And then I just brought it up because I was like, okay, this is my job. I think I should have to do this. So that's my job, teach responsibility, because then you're always paying attention for those things. We also get to pick our own transition times, so also teaches responsibility, because it helps. Picking our own transition times helps us with responsibilities so that we're always paying attention to the time, so we're not, if we're on a fun subject, we just go through the whole day and we forget to say to transition, which would be really bad. But, yeah, that's why it teaches responsibility. Another thing that we do every day is Rear Jamickle. That, it helps us be leaders because for recap and evaluate, you have to, there's one person that switches every day who's going to be recap or evaluate, and it's going to kind of, you have to lead the whole class and make sure nobody's just off having side conversations, that everybody's paying attention and listening to the thing that we're doing. We also have to make our own goals during evaluate, and that helps us with self-assessment. Making goals every day helps us with Making goals every day helps us with self-assessment because we have to realize what we did bad that day, and so we don't think we're just perfect human beings all the time. We actually listen. Also, flexible seating is very helpful in our classroom because some people really focus well on like ball chairs or yoga balls because it gives them something to do, so they're like fidgeting, but they can still pay attention. And comfy chairs, they're just more comfy than hard chairs. And some people focus better in hard chairs, so they sit in those. So you get to pick. And lit circles I like because literature circles I like a lot because we get to pick our own books. And so, hi. And in literature circles, I like literature circles because it gives us free choice about what books we read, so we're not assigned a boring book that we're never going to read or enjoy. And I know when I don't enjoy books, I don't really pay attention to them, so I don't get anything out of them. So if I'm reading a book that I actually enjoy, I will pay more attention and actually learn something from it. Also, Gimme Fives will help I already talked about that one. What was the other one I was going to talk about? Oh, right, Passion Time. Passion Time helps us because it lets us focus. Passion Time is good because it helps us learn, focus, and study about a topic of your interest. And it makes us really excited about learning a certain subject. So I think we should definitely all make time for some Passion Time because it is very fun and interesting, and it's not like you're just sitting around doing nothing, because a lot of fun activities that you do in school you don't really get anything out of, but Passion Time you get stuff out of because you're actually learning about doing that, and it also helps you with time management because you only have a certain amount of allotted time. And that is, or can be bad if you're not very good at time management. Okay, so that's my video on why our classroom is good. Bye!